If the answer is Christian, if the answer is Jewish people, if the answer is Muslims, if the answer is anything except for Americans, then we lose. All of us lose.
It became so political, and it's like, all of this is stuff that a couple of years ago the entire country agreed on.
Yup.
Like, we all agree that it's bad to, like, human trafficking is bad. We all agree it's bad to chop off the body parts of young confused kids. We all agree it's bad to give kids porn in school, to bring kids to stripper shows. These were all things that as a society we all agreed on. And the left,
well, clearly we didn't. Clearly they were hiding in the shadows. But just like right now, where so many people are like, "Oh, I think we're supposed to cheer for the drag queen in the school library." They were just those same people were like, "I don't think a drag queen is supposed to be in the school library." They're just following what everybody else thinks. And so, I mean, I say all we have to do, but all we have to do is become the dominant culture. And we have better ideas. So the only reason we're not is because we're fighting amongst ourselves. Predominantly about where do your beliefs come from? Where do your values come from? In the same way we always talk about, the elites, they bring us these culture war issues so that we're fighting amongst each other so we don't pay attention to them. That's exactly what the Democrats do to the cultural right. They don't have anything to stand on. So if we actually come to fight, we will win. So they need to keep us fighting amongst each other. And as long as we continue fighting about, well, do you believe in God? Or, well, God said this. Is this a value that we want to live by? Yes or no? If we agree, then let's stop fighting each other and fight the good fight.
left is really the ones that made it. They're the ones that made it political. And they kind of they made it their party platform that they promote bringing kids to stripper shows, giving kids porn in schools, teaching 4-year-olds that they could be transgender and that they could chop their breasts off.
And then they'll turn around and be like, "Oh my God, conservatives have nothing else to talk about trans all day."
And it's really sad. It's because it's really not political, but it became that.
Yes. And I think that there's a danger in that might be another trap we're actually being led into that we need to be careful about on the right. Because I think it has presented itself as a convenient opportunity for the Republican Party. And I think what you have right now is a bunch of professional politicians seizing on that energy, but without a deep understanding of what they're actually up against.
Talking about yourself, bro? I don't know.
And using it to put their name on some bill that makes their way through a legislature or Congress or whatever, without actually understanding the essence of what's going on, which then turns something which should be unifying across purpose-driven human beings to restore our sense of purpose to becoming some partisan struggle and tug of war. I'm sure some people may, further their eyebrows hearing me say this because I'm a presidential candidate. But actually, the way certainly I have aimed to talk about this issue transcends this Republicans and Democrats and the partisan stuff. That's about raising taxes or lowering taxes. This is something deeper about answering the question of who we are as individuals and as a people.
And the answer is Americans. If the answer is Christian, if the answer is Jewish people, if the answer is Muslims, if the answer is anything except for Americans, then we lose. All of us lose. Who are we as individuals? First, we are Americans. Then everything else. You don't have to get rid of your God. You just have to put the country first so that you have the freedoms to worship the religion that you choose.
And this is why I don't think these are issues that congressmen or senators or even governors are necessarily going to be well positioned to address. But the president is a cultural symbol of this nation, right? And I think the more important job of the next president is, more than any policy, actually, is going to be to set a tone of national character of who we are. as a people.
Yup. The American identity. We are Americans. That means that we believe in family. We believe in country. We believe in community. We believe in merit. We believe in capitalism, and we believe in gratitude. That is all that is necessary. That this is the best way to live. These are the values that you want to have if you want to succeed as a person, if you want to succeed as a nation. That is it. That is it.
And that means something in a way that goes beyond any given law or executive order that we sign.
Absolutely.
And so anyway, that's what calls me into this. I don't think about this as actually a political journey. Yeah, it's a cultural revival.
I see what you're saying, and I agree. And right now, the person occupying the Oval Office is someone who had a trans person come and shake their breasts in front of the White House at a Pride event.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who is this? Oh, some random trans activist?
A trans activist.
Yeah. It's the first, they celebrated the first woman who's an assistant secretary of one of the parts of the Navy.
Yeah.
Who is
Richard
literally
Levine.
A man. Rachel. Yeah. Now Rachel Levine. It's interesting what that would say to like a women's rights movement. That
That's a man, baby.
Celebrating the first woman to occupy this post is actually a man.
The president also invited Dylan Mulvaney, who's like the poster child for the trans agenda, which is very harmful to kids, to the White House. And now Dylan is charging, I'm not kidding, you can't make this up, $40,000 to speak about women's empowerment.
What?
Where are the feminists? Where are the feminists? If ever we needed feminism, it would be right now. And not the I don't need no man. The fact that literal men are taking over your spaces, your spots, and your conversations. What kind of feminist are you? What kind of feminist are you?
Really?
It's literally
paying
beyond
money.
parody. It's
I
not
bet you
that
some people
money.
are.
Yeah. Oh, of course. I'm sure he's going to have a bunch of people lining up to pay him that.
So this man
$40,000
speaking about women's empowerment.
This man is the most expensive women's empowerment speaker in the United States.
That's really funny.
Well, when you want something done right, get a man.
The most. It's like almost like I mean that's like worse than Ibram Kendi preaching about the need to fight discrimination with more discrimination. This is.
I don't know if it's worse, but it's definitely up there.
That's actually pretty remarkable.
So I agree that
well, shame on a culture that allows Dylan Mulvaney to get rich off that.
I mean, look, good for him. If people are lining up to pay him $40K, he's cashing in.
Yeah, this dude is really so wild. Pretty enterprising entrepreneur. He should win the young male entrepreneur of the year. Called a farce on our culture. Actually.
Young women's entrepreneur.
Yeah. So this is a Dylan. So the socially accepted status of this individual is a man or a woman? I've lost track.
So he's a male and now he identifies as a woman.
Okay, got it.
I mean, I think that they're just going back to what you were saying before. I think that there are certain policy issues that are really harming kids and are very dangerous that legislators are doing something about, and I think should be. So I think that's where they fall into place in all this. Like in Florida, DeSantis banned like sex change surgeries and puberty blockers for minors.
Which I think is a good thing.
I think that's a good thing. I think it's necessary. And there are
other
obvious.
States. I mean, there's states that obvious. I'm pretty sure that state, like every other, doesn't allow you to get a tattoo before the age of 18.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to make a body altering change to a minor that the minor will later regret later in life.
Yeah, I literally just when I was walking Morty between the members stream and when I started this, I was walking Morty, put it on TikTok, and it's some dude, doing man on the street. Like, do you think that do you think a 13-year-old should be able to get a tattoo? And they would go to it was all women in this video. They're like, no, that's a permanent change and blah, 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 blah. And then of course, like, do you think a child should be able to get gender affirming care? Well, yes, of course. They definitely would know by that age. It's like,
what?
You have no values, you have no logic, you have no grounding in reality. You just have what feels good right now. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed that clip, check out the full live stream link in the bio and catch me live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. See you there.